Right guys, we are moving on to the first stage, which is image transfer, getting your image across to your piece of paper. Now I'm using a projector. I've got the image projected across, so as you can see when I move in front, like that. I'm just mirroring this from a tablet, guys, to the projector. It's a Wi-Fi enabled projector, and you can just mirror. You can see we can move that and just size it up with a projector. Pinch and pull on the tablet and you can just size it up. Now, first thing you've got to do is you've got to go around the outline of your image. So sit to one side of your projector coming across and start to pencil in the lines. That's all you've got to do. Just go around and start penciling all up the detail areas on the eyes and all the lines that you see on the image. Now what a good thing to do is on this is as well, because this is black and white and you're staring at a lot of black and white lines, once you've penciled it out, all the black lines, I've just put a little X on and gone round and put a little X on all the black lines. So when you move the image out the way like that, you'll know which ones that are going black and which ones are white. Actually could get sort of like confused and then probably jump a line, think you've got to do it black and it's got to be white. So just go around and put an X over your bits, and that's how you'll get your image across, guys. I'll see you in the next step, which will be paint. Right, we're moving on to paint and what paint we're going to use for this project. I've got 3 paints sort of pre-mixed and bottled up, and I'll tell you the ones that I've got. I've got an FW black grey mix, so it's a very dark grey. That one is mixed with isopropanol and water. Now the mixing ratio I find best for me, what I'm doing is 2 drops paint, 2 drops water to 10 drops ISO, and that's how I'll sort of mix it, and that's what I've done in these small bottles. So I've got black grey, I've got a wicked smoke black mixed straight with isopropanol, and that is a 50-50 mix on that one. And then I've got the cool grey, which is an FW, and that's mixed with the ISO mix again with the ISO and water, 2 drops grey, 2 drops water to 10 drops ISO. So they're the paints we're going to be using, and with these paints you can achieve full opacity by going full back on your trigger and getting it solid, or if you put very minimal paint down and back away, you can put very soft tones down and make soft transitions with this paint and put it down sort of like a transparent, and the more you put on, the darker it will get and the opaquer it will get. So they're the paints. Next thing we're going to look at is the brush. As today's brush is the new Ultra by Harder and Steenbeck, the 2024. I'm going to be using this one. The reason why I've chose the Ultra today, and I'll tell you the upgrades that I've done to it as well, it's a good solid sturdy brush. It's easy to clean because you've got a nice big cup on it, easy to clean out. You could use the trigger settings on this, the sleeve settings. If you own the Ultra, you could use the sleeve settings, and I'll drop sleeve settings up as we paint, so you'll see them pop up in the screen on wherever I am on the actual picture. But a great brush, solid robust brush for a beginner. Now I've done some upgrades to this. I've kept the 045 needle and nozzle in the brush, and I've changed the front end to the prong cap and the air cap of the Evolution. So I've just changed that one over, and then on the inside of the body here I've changed the spring. So I've put the Evolution spring into this, which gives you that soft travel going back. So for long periods of time, if you're working on real fine detail, you've not got that real stiff tension like you have in the Ultra from like new or original. And I've put the Evo trigger in as well, which is a lot more comfortable to the pad of your finger. With the softer spring, it's just a lot easier to get on with, and you can get closer up for your detail because you can now work with the prong cap off so you can see your needle. So a nice little upgrade for the Ultra if you own an Ultra, but you can complete this piece today if you have the standard Ultra, not a problem. And as I say, I'll leave the settings to the sleeve settings, what I would recommend doing this if you wanted to attempt it. So we'll move in. I'm going to do time-lapse sections So we're going to start on the eyes, going to do a time-lapse section on the eyes, and then I'll talk you through on the colours that I used, and we'll go through it like that, time-lapse section, and I'll talk you through, and then talk you through bits as we go along. It's nice and easy that way, guys. So let's move in closer and crack on. Right guys, we've got the eyes in so far. We're going to add more to them as we go along, but I've got the main parts of the eyes in. Now the way I went round this, I started off with a cool grey and just started to lay the cool grey down, sort of really light. You see it sort of build up, we sort of go light. On the actual image, when you zoom right in, the actual eyelashes on the bottom, on the tops and the bottoms of the eyes, they're not separate lashes like you would see with like makeup. They're all sort of clumped together, and it just looks like they look like little blurry lines just all coming along. So I've just done some lines that are close together and just put two different tones in to get the eyelashes. Drop the highlights in with the Posca paint pen, and you see me basically working around with shields to sharpen little pieces up around the eye, and just work round in the tones in the light grey, doing the same with the shields, and then put another tone over the top, which was the grey black mix over the top, and I just started to put the lines in here. I actually went wrong here. I've done what I said at the beginning, where mark the arrows where your lines are, and these ones I didn't mark, so I just came straight in and started to fill in one of the white lines, but it's where the actual corner of the eye is where there's a shadow, so we can clean this bit up here a bit later, tidy that bit up. We're going to do a bit more over the eyebrows. They were just basically one pass, little dagger strokes in the light grey, and then put the next sort of grey over the top and just build them up, because again, they're not, you don't see actual hairs. You see a couple of white little highlights in there, but nothing to resemble sort of hair. It's just sort of lines going sort of one way. So I've tried to keep it going the direction that the actual eyebrow hairs go. So if you just follow your reference and follow the way the shapes go, don't worry about trying to get mirror matched hairs, you know. So I've got all that piece in. The next stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the nose, work the mouth, and then we're going to start to work the shadowed areas in. We're just going to back off and just start to spray the shadow areas, anywhere the light tones are, and then we can start working in the blacks on the lines. Now on these lines, where I've brought these in here, I'm looking really close up at the image because you're going to see light spots on the actual black, where these look like solid black lines. They're not just flat black lines. You've got to put the way they go, you've got to shade it so it's darker on the inner of the eye. When it comes out and the light hits it, it just starts to lighten up, and it'll give you them shapes as you work around. So just concentrate on your reference. It's really hard to look at because you're just staring at loads of lines like a zebra, but just work around a little bit at a time like that, and we'll move down. We'll start the nose next. I'll get the nose and the mouth in on the time lapse and we'll have another chat. Right, a little pause and a talk through. Working with the shields again, going in with the light grey mix for a start and just sort of mapping out the nose when we came around the nose and around the nostrils. Just following what you're looking at on the reference, just home in on a bit on the reference and just follow what the best you can. So we've gone around the nose, worked down, I worked the lines in here and just started working the mouth in. We've got some more tones to drop around here. The next stage on this will be, I'm going to start to drop the shadows in here, up in here and round here, and then it will be the lines, all the line work to finish it off. But just chipping away like we did the eyes, go in light with the light tones and just start to bring the tones up. Stop for 5 minutes, refresh your eyes, look back and then look back at your reference, just start to darken bits out. And I'll be darkening as I've put the lines in near the end. I'll go back and have another look, fresh look with the eyes again, and just start to darken off and set things further back and bring things out. We can pop the highlights out again on the eyes later on, so they'll pop forward a bit because there's a little bit of overspray that's gone over the highlights, but we can pop them out later with the Posca paint pen. So I'll drop the shadow in next round here. We're going to go in with the smoke black on this and just drop this round. We'll use a shield to screen the jaw off and drop this shadow in. So I'll see you in the next step. there we go, guys, we've got it finished. Now, we started going round, I started going round the black edges, holding the shield, then I thought, oh, this is just like too much of this going round, so I just started going in freehand. Going round, fixed a couple of pieces that I just sort of went over on the shield, where I went from the crossed out area and skipped over and put a bit of black into the white area. It was like, oh no. So what I did was got a white water-based pencil, and to drop the highlights in this, because I can't do any erasing and things like that, I'm just adding the white water base and just bringing out, just doing that, and just bringing some of the highlights out with the pencils. And then I can go in and tidy up any black edges with the black pencil and just do some little soft flicks with the black pencil, just to line some more bits out. But we got it down. You just got to chip away at it, guys. Go nice and light. Start with your lighter tones and then just start to darken it up and darken it up, and then you eventually get it down. So I hope you've picked something up in this time-lapsed step by step. Drop your comments, tell me your thoughts, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.